Hey everyone, my name is Chloe, and today I am here to recommend some kids' books to you. So I put a call out and said, hey, I'm doing Vlogmas. Is there anything you guys want to see? And one of my subscribers said they would really like to see some of the books that my kids like, because I have a 2.5-year-old and then a almost 6-month-old. So my 6-month-old doesn't really care about anything, but my 2.5-year-old is a huge reader. She loves books, and she definitely has some favorites. So this list is not conclusive. Like, she likes, there's so many that she likes, but I grabbed a huge stack of some of the favorites. And so if you are looking to buy for kids this year and you're not sure like what are kids into, these are things that at least kind of this preschool age will really like. So the first thing I'm going to tell you about is Stinky Face. This one is It's Time for School Stinky Face, but it started with I Love You Stinky Face. And there's all sorts of Stinky Face books. They're by Lisa McCourt and Sid Moore. And they are just, it's this mother and son. I think she's a single mom. And this kid just has quite the imagination. And so they will talk about something and he'll say, but mama, what if I did this? And so every book they go in really crazy adventures. Like this one, he goes to school and he's like, but what if I fly out the window? Or, I don't know specifically, but these are very, very fun. The next book she really likes is Blue and Birdie by Christina Linton. And I really like this book because it talks a lot about being different and fitting in. So this is about Birdie. Birdie is the yellow giraffe, and he lives with a bunch of yellow giraffes, and they do the exact same thing every single day. And then he gets lost because he oversleeps one day. So he goes to look for his herd, and he gets lost, and he stumbles upon Blue. And at first, they're both kind of scared of each other because, they've never seen a blue or a yellow giraffe. And so they talk about that, and then they spend the day together. And Birdie says, come back to my herd, or whatever a group of giraffes is called. But he says, come back with us, and Blue is really self-conscious because he doesn't look like the rest. And then the rest accept him with open arms, and it's a great conversation starter for just differences, and that it's what's on the inside that counts, and great friendship story. Next is No Silly by Ken Krug, and this one is cute. I like to eat ice cream, and I like to eat books. No, silly. And so this is really funny. She giggles about it quite a bit. And the next one I could not find, and I'm shocked I could not find it because it's kind of on that same trend, and because this book like travels all over our house because she loves it, and it's No David. And there's No David and a couple other like variations of it, but it is this man's, I'm hopefully putting up a picture, but it is this man's kind of take on his journals as a young kid. I guess he would write like a diary, and his mom was always telling him no because he's a very rambunctious little kid. So the words are pretty simple, like no, David, but I typically expand on them a little bit and say like, no, David, don't color on the walls. And so now we use that a lot just in different things. When she's doing things, I say, no, David, and she laughs, and it like kind of lightens like disciplinary load, because it becomes a thing. So she loves No, David. The next one is, If You Take a Mouse to School. And I took the dust covers off of these because they just get destroyed. We obviously own these ones, but there's a whole, if you give a mouse a brownie, if you give a moose a muffin, all sorts of books. And these are by Laura Numeroff, and Laura Numeroff writes so many great things. So she is definitely an author. Like, this series is great, and we love it. But anything by Laura Numeroff is pretty great. In fact, I think I maybe have another one from her in this stack. But these are kind of cyclical, or not, I guess cyclical. I don't know if that's the correct word for it. But it says, like, if you take a mouse to school, he's going to want a lunch. And so if you pack him a lunch, he's going to want to put it in a backpack. And just that. And then it ends with, so then if he leaves your lunchbox, you'll have to take a mouse back to school. So you end and start in the exact same spot, and it's really fun to see the journey. Most of these are food-based, but there is like, if you take a mouse to school, if you give a pig a party, there's also if you give a pig a pancake. So depending on if your kid's a little foodie, there's pancakes, cookies, muffins, brownies. I know there's all sorts of fun foodie stories. Then next is Dog's Colorful Day, and this is by Emma Dodd. This one is about this white dog with one black spot, and he goes on this adventure throughout the day, and things get spilled on him. And so as he goes throughout the day, he gets a bunch of different spots like grass, and I think that's jelly, and all different things on him. And so you can talk about counting and colors. So dog runs into the park and rolls on the grass. The grass makes a green stain on his white coat. Now dog has 4 spots. I'm not doing a very good job of holding these, but so it's colors and counting. She loves seeing what all the dog gets into, and she'll say like, "Watch out, dog," and different things. And like I said, colors and counting. This next one is the next Laura Numeroff. I hope I don't even have a ton of hers, but we love Laura Numeroff. And this is the Jelly Beans. And this one specifically is the Jelly Beans Love to Read. Now they have these little board books that are kind of abridged, and then they have full like paperback or hardback, I think, that are a little bit longer. But each of these 4 girls are our best friends. And so one loves soccer, one loves to read, one loves to dance, and one loves to paint. And so each girl gets their own book, and it's just talking about how they share their love of whatever it is with their friends. And even though they like different things, they are still great friends. Just like jelly beans are all different flavors, but they're still the same. So this is a very favorite. These covers are textured and glittery, and so my daughter, she is a girl through and through, very stereotypical. She loves the pink and loves the glitter and loves these books. This one is just a unique kind of one-off. It's called Goodnight, My Darling Baby, and it's talking about all these different animals and how they say goodnight to their babies. And it's supposed to be a song, and so it says Daddy Cow sang a goodnight tune to his baby calf beneath the crescent moon, and then it's moo moo moo, sweet dreams, my darling baby. And then every page is a different animal, as well as a different, like this one's Papa. So lots of different representation for names for moms and dads and all that kind of thing, but it is moms and dads. But why she loves this book is because I don't know if there's like an actual tune to this Goodnight, My Darling Baby. Each page says like the animal sound, and then some sort of keep warm, my darling baby. And Jeremy and I know we both sing it very differently, like the whole tune, and she just thinks it's hilarious listening to us sing it, and it's fun to sing. There's a lot of like singing books, and this is really the only one that has stuck with her. And as a parent, this is the only one I really like because, well, this one and a book called Wonky Donkey. That one has like it's got a playlist on Spotify, and I think it's on YouTube. Like that one has a legit tune, but this one I'm not really sure what the tune is, and it's just fun to read. Next is Arthur, or any Arthur books. In fact, I should have put this later in the stack because I have more similar to this, but Arthur she loves, and Arthur is a show on PBS. So if they are into the show on PBS or if they're into the books, you kind of can get a double whammy with this. Next is Go to Bed Monster by Natasha Wing, and Natasha Wing is another good author, and this one is about this little girl who draws a monster, and then the monster needs all these different things, and the reason she draws the monster is because she can't sleep, and so then the monster wants a drink, the monster wants this, the monster wants that, and so she keeps drawing things for him, and then it like finally exhausts her, and so she's like, monster, go to sleep, and so then they go to bed. This one, as well as kind of a classic, Herald and the Purple Crayon, she really likes. And both of them are about kids drawing an adventure. And that is something that is just kind of starting to conceptualize in her head, is the idea of like drawing different worlds for yourself. And so I think that is really cool, and a really good way to like start a project or start a conversation is with Go to Bed Monster and Herald and the Purple Crayon, where it talks about your ability to draw what you want to see. The next thing I'm going to talk about is Little Golden Books. She loves these, and some of these are so old, like they were published a long time ago. This one is The Lucky Puppy, and this is based kind of on the 101 Dalmatians. There are like movie tie-ins that is like actually the 101 Dalmatians. So if there's a specific movie that the child really likes, there's probably a little golden book for it. And I tend to like these that are more like spin-off kind of books, but she likes a lot of them. I would say steer clear of the like old ones because they're just, one, a little problematic at times, and two, they're just a little different language, just like classics in general. If you're a fan of classics, maybe it is a thing for you. If you're not, maybe stick with some of the more contemporaries. But this Lucky Puppy is one that she really likes. Next is Sandra Boynton, just anything by her. This one's But Not the Hippopotamus, but she's got an extensive line. And these are pretty short, pretty simple, mostly board books. And she loves Sandra Boynton, and they are very, very good for the young toddler. Next is Jan Brett. Jan Brett is an author that I know I read in like kindergarten and stuff when I was a kindergartner. This one is a little bit older, but the illustrations and things in this are just gorgeous. And the border of all of these hints at what's to come next. Like this page is what just happened and this is what's to come next. The borders are very telling. And so as the child gets older, this one you can use to talk about like foreshadowing and different elements like that. But these are just, all of them are beautiful, beautiful books, and we really like them. Next is Pinkalicious. Pinkalicious is by Victoria Can and Elizabeth Can. And this, I think, is also maybe a show. I don't know which came first. And I think there's quite a few different books. But this is about a girl who loves the color pink and eats pink food and turns pink, and then has to like dial down the pinkness. And again, my daughter's very stereotypical, loves pink. But if you have a child who loves pink, these Pinkalicious stories are fun. Next is 10 Tiny Babies by Karen Katz. Karen Katz is another one that, especially for the young toddler, is great. There's 10 Tiny Babies, 10 Tiny Tickles, all sorts of different books on this. And this is very simple. It's like one tiny baby starts to run. Along comes another to have some fun. And they're very, very simple. And she had this memorized by probably like 18 months. And she can do the actions, and she loves this book. And she really loves this now as a 2.5-year-old still, because she can read it by herself, because it's very rhythmic and very easy to memorize. And she loves babies. But so Karen Katz, especially 10 Tiny Babies, we are big fans. Next is one of my favorites as well, and this one is Loud Lula by Katie S. Duffield and Mike Bolt. And this one is so funny and so fun. So this is about a little girl named Lula who is super loud, and it's all told in like kind of southern slang. So it's Lula was born smack dab in the middle of one of the biggest twisters Pryor County had ever seen. Winds howled, trees snapped, it was bust your eardrums loud. And it continues on in a very southern twang, and it's just so funny and cute. And again, we kind of use this conversationally when Ainsley is getting really loud. We'll say, "Cool it loud, Lula," and stuff like that. And she says, "I'm not loud, Lula, I'm loud, Ainsley." And we talk about this book talks about inside voices and that kind of thing. So we reference this, but really it's just a really, really fun book. Next is the Llama Llama series. So this one is her favorite, Llama Llama Home with Mama by Anna Dewdney. And this one is about this little boy, Llama Llama, and he does all sorts of different things. There are lots and lots of Llama Llama books, but we really like them. Next is How Do Dinosaurs Say Goodnight? And this is another one that how do dinosaurs go to school? How do dinosaurs say I love you? All this kind of stuff. And it's talking about like, how do dinosaurs say goodnight? Do they pitch a big fit? Or do they do what's right? And so the first half is always, do they do this? Do they throw their toys? Do they shake their head and pout? Do they cry? Do they, and she will say, no. And then it says, nope, dinosaurs don't. They don't even try. And it talks about how dinosaurs do behave. And so if you've got a little kid that loves dinosaurs, these books are really fun. And they're, again, great like lessons and great teaching things of like, we don't do that. The next one is this one specifically, the Big Book of Bedtime Stories, she really loves. But really any of these, I've talked before, I think about like there's books that say like 5-minute Pooh Bear stories or 5-minute Disney stories or any of 5-minute bedtime stories, any of those kind of things. I think they're all by various authors. Each story is, but this has, I think, 5 or 6 books. In fact, I can tell you this one's There's No Place Like Home, My Pet Chameleon, The Littlest Dragon. I don't remember that one. And then Snip Snap Croc. And we love all of these stories. And she, especially now that she's getting older, she feels like these are almost like chapter books to her because each story is about 5 minutes. And so we'll read one at a time and she'll put a bookmark in it and she'll treat it like chapters, and it's really cute. And as a parent, these are fun because depending on, like, we read these mostly at bedtime, and depending on what time it is, how much time we have, we can read 1, we can read 2, whatever. And also she can keep this on her nightstand and it'll keep her entertained forever. And like I said, each book is different by a different author, and so the style is a little bit different, and these are just, they're really fun. We love all of the 5-minute books. Now these last few, well, I'll tell you a couple more. These little guys, this one is Let's Play. This one is Be Friendly. So you can get, I'll try to put a picture up somewhere, but you can get these little boxes of these tiny books. Most come in like packs of 12, I think. And like this one is Disney themed. This one is princess theme. I know there's Frozen. There's all sorts of different theme ones. And they come in the little box. And so, and it's got like a handle on it. So it's great for travel. And then also now that she is getting older, she can read these on her own. So balloons, she knows. Rattle, you know, she knows this one. I mean, because this one's called Let's Play. There's Let's Eat. There's all sorts of things. And so she can read these on her own. And they're tiny. My daughter is very into purses, and so she can put some of these in her purse, and she loves them. And they're normally pretty cheap. I think they're like $8 to $12. We find ours at Marshall's quite a bit. There's all sorts of different ones. And like this one, you saw that one was kind of one word. These ones are shorter, or longer, I'm sorry, but it's like 5 or 6 pages. And so she will memorize these really quick. And again, it makes her feel like a successful reader. Then these next few that I'm going to mention are all just anything based on a show. If the child's into the show, there's probably books for it. So we've got Curious George. She has never seen, like most of these, she hasn't seen the show, but it's nice like to know. I've kind of got that like in my back pocket because she loves Curious George books so much that I know if I ever like really need her to be entertained, I can be like, hey, do you want to watch Curious George? And she is all over it. So Curious George, this is just one of the many. Mickey, of course, there's tons and tons and tons of Mickey books. And this is one we do watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse a lot. It is her favorite. And they're generally educational, and the books are good. They're short, and so they're good. Winnie the Pooh also has a bunch of different books, and they are very sweet and charming, typical Winnie the Pooh. Fancy Nancy. Fancy Nancy is one that I'm not 100% sure how I feel about her because she is very, very, very superficial, and I don't know. She's just very into being fancy. But my daughter loves these, and they come from like all the way to like very, very basic up to these I Can Reads that are for beginning readers, which my daughter is not yet. But they have all age ranges of Fancy Nancy, and I know it's a show. I don't know if the show came first or not, but so those are some of her favorites. Another couple things I thought I would mention is this is the Jesus Storybook Bible, and so if you are buying for a little kid that might be interested in this, she loves it, and it clearly is well loved. It's got a lot of pictures and makes Bible stories really like palatable for young kids. 10 out of 10 do not recommend Berenstain Bears books, and let me tell you why. Because one, a lot of times like those kids are just bratty and things are hard with that, and there's some really good ones. We use like Berenstain Bears Go to the Dentist and that kind of stuff we read before we went, so I'm not hating on Berenstain Bears, but my biggest squabble is all of them have a sticker page in them. At least all the paperbacks that we have a sticker page in them. She discovered that one day during nap when she was not napping in her room, and she proceeded to stick the stickers on everything, including library books, her body, different books, and these aren't coming off. Like, they are on there. So if you're gonna get Berenstain Bears books, proceed with caution or take the stickers out because we learned that the hard way. And then the last thing that I'm gonna mention that has been a huge hit in our house is the Highlights magazine. So Jeremy's aunt and her family actually subscribed Ainsley to the Highlights magazine, I think her first Christmas. And so when they're young, they get these little magazines. They come once a month, and they are so fun. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can use as teaching things, and just there's things to look at, find it, all sorts of different things in this little magazine. And like I said, it comes in a bright green package, and she loves it every month. Now that she is older, it has switched. Like there's like a upgrade to the next age range, and it's like a book, and there's all sorts of craft ideas and that kind of thing. But Highlights is so good. And I used to see these like in the doctor's office and that kind of thing, but she loves them. I love them. I don't know what the price is on them, but she really likes them. I know there's also a couple other like book subscription things for kids, but if you're wanting a bigger gift, that Highlights is wonderful. So that is a ton of kids' books recommendations, and like I said, that's not even all of them, but that'll definitely get you started if you are looking for something to purchase for anywhere, I would say, from like very young toddler to kindergarten, first, second grade, I don't know, kind of young readers. There's kind of a whole range there. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.